All right, let's just jump right into it. This is one of the biggest questions in modern military strategy. The kind of thing that probably keeps generals up at night. Could Iran actually sink a U.S. aircraft carrier? Today, we're going to break down this incredible clash of power and military thinking.
And really, it all kicks off with images just like this. This is a poster that was unveiled in Tehran, and it's pretty graphic. It shows American warships getting blown out of the water. And this isn't just some piece of art, right? Military experts say you have to take this seriously. It's a statement of intent, and maybe, just maybe, a statement of capability.
So that brings us right to the heart of the matter. The big question we're tackling today. Is this threat for real? Is it just propaganda? Or could Iran's military actually make a poster like that come true?
Okay, to even begin to answer that, we've got to understand what we're up against. A U.S. aircraft carrier. It's not just a ship. It's basically a floating fortress, a symbol of American power that's designed to be, pretty much untouchable.
See, you never just see the carrier alone. It's the heart of what's called a carrier strike group, and that thing is a full-on armada. You've got the huge Nimitz-class carrier in the middle, sure, but it's surrounded by these incredible Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and guided missile cruisers. Think of them like high-tech bodyguards watching the skies, the surface, and even under the water. And then, somewhere out there, its location a total secret, you have a nuclear-powered submarine adding this whole other invisible layer of defense.
And that's before we even talk about the air power. A carrier brings its own air force to the fight. We're talking dozens of the most advanced jets in the world. You've got your F-18s and the stealthy F-35s for attack runs. But you've also got these specialized jets, the EA-18G Growlers, whose whole job is to blind and deafen the enemy by jamming all their electronics. It's an incredible package.
And here's the thing, this fortress is never standing still. A carrier like this can cut through the ocean at over 25 knots, and it's constantly changing direction, zigzagging to be unpredictable. Now just think about that for a second. To hit a target moving that fast, that erratically, you need perfect real-time intelligence. And let me tell you, that is incredibly hard to get.
So what happens if an attack actually gets launched? Well, the defenses are just insane. The whole group is linked by something called the Aegis Combat System. It can track hundreds of things at once, and in a coordinated response, it can take out more than 60 incoming threats, missiles, drones, you name it, all at the same time. On paper, it sounds completely impenetrable, right? But here's the twist. Iran knows all this. They're not trying to play America's game. They have a completely different strategy, a different doctrine. It's not about high-tech one-on-one battles. It's about something else entirely, overwhelming numbers. And the name for that strategy is a saturation attack. The idea is actually brutally simple. You just throw so much stuff at the carrier group from every direction, all at the exact same time, that you completely overwhelm its defenses. You're not trying to beat the shield. You're trying to break it through sheer volume. And this right here, this is the whole story. It's a fundamental clash of military philosophies. The U.S. has poured billions into these high-tech, super expensive interceptors that are designed to stop every single thing. They're aiming for a perfect defense. Iran's strategy? It's the complete opposite. They use a swarm of low-cost weapons, and they fully expect most of them to get shot down. They don't need a perfect offense. They just need a few to slip through the cracks to win. And they have a whole bunch of different toys to make this swarm a reality. We're talking ballistic missiles fired from way inland, hundreds of miles away, barrages of cruise missiles flying low over the water, swarms of those one-way attack drones, and then up close you've got fast attack boats in the Persian Gulf, and even sea mines to mess with their path. It's a multi-front nightmare for any defense planner.
So, this isn't just some war game on a computer screen. The stakes in a real conflict are incredibly high. And we're not just talking about military hardware. We're talking about mind-boggling sums of money and, most importantly, human lives.
First, let's just talk money. The price tag is just wild. Even though the carrier's nuclear reactor can run for decades, just the daily cost to operate one of these things to keep it staffed, supplied, and ready is about $6 million. Every single day. But the human cost is where it gets really serious. Because the carrier isn't the only potential target out there. The U.S. has somewhere around 40,000 troops stationed at bases all across the region, and pretty much all of them are within range of Iran's missiles and drones. And the scale of that threat is just immense. Estimates say Iran has something like 2,000 mid-range ballistic missiles. That's more than enough to threaten every U.S. base and ship in the Gulf.
It's enough to hit targets as far away as Israel.
So when you put all this together, all the hardware, all the strategy, what you get is this incredibly tense and volatile standoff, where the tough talk from politicians is backed up by some very real, very scary military power.
From the American side, you get statements like this one from former President Trump. He's talking about a beautiful armada floating toward Iran. It's a clear projection of overwhelming strength. But then he follows it up with, I hope they make a deal. It's that classic speak softly and carry a big stick approach, right? Show your power, but leave the door open for diplomacy. And Iran's response? It's just as firm. Their official statements promise a fierce, comprehensive retaliation to any attack. They're sending a clear signal. We don't want a war, but if you start one, we are absolutely ready to fight back with everything we've got.
And this is the really crucial part. This whole idea of a saturation attack isn't just a theory anymore. We saw it play out. That huge missile and drone attack Iran launched at Israel in 2024 was a real-world test. And yeah, most of the projectiles were shot down by some of the world's best defenses, but not all of them. A few got through. It proved the concept. Saturation attacks can work.
Which brings us to this final, thought-provoking question. We know a successful strike on a carrier would be a massive, humiliating disaster for the U.S. The risk of that happening, the chance of losing a carrier, the thousands of lives, and kicking off a huge regional war, that risk alone is a powerful weapon. So in this new age of warfare, maybe the most powerful weapon isn't the one that's fired. Maybe it's just the credible threat that you could sink the unsinkable.